All right, I'm three classes. Today we're going to be finishing up with our equations of circles. What we're going to be doing is starting with an equation of a circle in a different form other than standard form, and we are going to convert it to standard form. So reminder, standard form of the circle, the x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. All right, for this lesson, we're going to be doing the method of completing the square a lot. So if you need a refresher course on completing the square, I'll have a link to the video, the completing the square video that we did earlier in the year. I'll have a link to that in the description of the video. So if you need a refresher on that, check that out and then come back and get ready to write the equation of a circle in standard form. All right. So equation of a circle in standard form. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write that standard form up above here. So it's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So first thing we want to do is we want to reorganize this. We want the x's next to each other. We want the y's next to each other, and things that don't have an x, y attached to it is going to move to the other side of the equation. I am going to add in a line of separation here to help us identify the two different sides of the equation. All right. And then after that, first thing I'm going to do is add 6. I'm going to move this 6 to the other side. So be eliminated from that side. And here will be a positive 6. Then I'm just going to reorganize this. So it's going to be x squared. I'm going to move the minus 14x next to there. I'm going to give some space in between there. We're going to need some space. And then it's going to be y squared plus 6y. And you're going to need some space there. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to complete the square on these two parts here. So I have two different polynomials. That's supposed to be an x there. I'm going to complete this square. I'm going to turn this into a I'm going to add a c value that turns this into a perfect square trinomial. So first thing, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to add a c value here, and then I'm going to find another one and add another c value here. So two c values. So the two polynomials I'm working with here plus this one here. All right. So first of all, the green c value for the x's, complete the square. What you do, before I move on, what we need to remember, when you add something to one side, you gotta add it to the other. So I'm gonna add a green c and a blue c to both this side because I've done that to the other side. So starting off with the green c. C is equal to half the middle term, all right, squared. So half of the b value here, the b value is negative 14. So it's going to be negative 14 squared. So, or negative 14 divided by 2 squared. Negative 14 divided by 2 is negative 7. And that's 49. So let's save some space here. I'm going to add 49. Change the green c to a 49. All right, now I need to find the blue c. So c is equal to half the middle term. So in this case, the b value is 6 divided by 2 squared. 6 divided by 2 is 3 squared is 9. So I'm going to replace the blue c with a 9 on both sides. Now I'm going to simplify. So 6 plus 49 plus 9, that's 55 plus 9, that's 64. Just add those together. 6 plus 49 plus 9 is 64. Here, now we're going to factor. So remember we completed, we made this a perfect square trinomial. So this is going to factor to x. Since it's minus here, it's going to be minus here, and it's half this term. So half 14 is 7. So x minus 7 squared plus y, it's plus here, half of this, so y plus 3 squared. So we are factoring this. It's a perfect square trinomial. Again, if you need a refresher, check out the video for completing the square. But that is it. We have that. We have our h and k. We are done. So to complete the square, it is 2, or to write the equation of the circle, it is 2 completing the square problems. Let's do it again. Let's do one more. So again, first thing I'm going to do, move the 266 to the other side. So subtract 266. Then I'm going to reorganize some things. So it's going to be x squared. I'm going to put the plus 32x next to it. Going to give some space after 32x, and it's going to be y squared minus 8y is equal to negative 266. Right. Separation, help keep track of things. So again, I'm going to add, I guess I'll use red and blue this time. So I'm going to add a red C value, find the C value that completes the square for this, make this a perfect square trinomial with the x's. And then I'm going to put in a blue C value, the C value that makes a perfect square trinomial with the y's. So for this, for the red, it's going to be 32 divided by 2 squared. 32 divided by 2 is 16. Squared is 256. And change the red C to 256. Oh, don't forget, whatever you add to one side of the equation, you got to add to the other. So plus 256. I'm going to find the blue C now. So blue C value is going to be negative 8 divided by 2 squared. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4 squared. Negative 4 squared is 16. So change this to 16. Don't forget, whatever you add on one side, you got to add to the other. All right. Now we're going to factor this. So just this one here. All right. That's all going to factor into x. 32 divided by 2 is 16 plus here. So it's going to be plus 16 squared plus y. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4 squared. Add all this together. Negative 266 plus 256 is negative 10 plus 16 is positive 6. There we go. All right. So let's do another one here. So the equation now, what's different about this is the equation isn't in a specific form like the others. So we just have to move some things around a little bit more. All right. It's going to be easiest if we move things around so that the x and y they need to be on the same side, but we want them to be both positive, right? So we don't want to move the y over here with the x, or the y squared over here with the x, because the x is negative and made the y squared negative. So we want things positive. So my first step is I'm going to add x squared to both sides and add it somewhere over here. It's not going to go to the like term. I'm also going to add the 28y to both sides, get the 28y over here. And then left side, I guess. And then they'll do it all at once. I'm going to take this negative 231 and move it to the right side over here. So what's going on now? Negative 231 cancels out here. I have a positive x squared, so it's going to be x squared minus 12x is on this side with it. Plus, so I'm going to give some space there for c value, so plus y squared, plus, then I have a positive 28y. So that's there. This canceled out here, negative 28 plus 28, this canceled out here, and then I have a negative 231 on this side. All right, so now I can find my c values that complete the square. So I'm going to add a c value here. I have to add it to the other side. I'm going to add a c value here. I have to add it to the other side. So starting with the red c. Oh, in space. So the red c is going to be negative 12 over 2 squared. Negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. Squared is positive 36. Change this red c to a 36 on both sides. The blue c, do that up here. So c, it's going to be 28 divided by 2 squared. 28 divided by 2 is 14 squared. Sorry, getting all scrunched in here. 14 squared is 196. I'm going to add in 196, change the c to 196. And now I can factor. So remember, I'm going to factor this trinomial here. That's going to factor, say, perfect square. So it's going to be x, negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. So x minus 6 squared plus y, 14, or 28 divided by 2 is 14. So it's plus 14 squared is equal to, I don't feel like doing that in my, I can. So that's 6. So 196 plus 36. So 102, that's 235 minus 231. So that all adds to 4. No, that's 2. What am I thinking? That's 232. So these two together is 232 minus 231. This is 1. Wow, that would be bad. All right, but there we go. All right, so what you want to do, so again, get all the x's and y's on one side of the equation. The numbers without variables to the other side. You're going to complete the square twice. Complete it for the x's, complete it for the y's. Make sure you are adding your c values to both sides. This is not a 199. That's a 196. All right. And again, if you need a review of completing the square, check out that video for completing the square. But that'll do it for equations of circles. We'll be doing equations of parabolas next time. Fun stuff.